So one of the things we get asked a lot is what makes Parzival Academy different? Why should people do this? And this program was inspired by the concept that young people do not have a place to connect, to share, to feel safe in sharing. And they also are struggling to find in this world that maybe seems to have gone a bit mad, mentorship and role models and connections to people that they can feel a sense of themselves aspiring toward. Now, our program is all about supporting young adults to be who they're here to be, to realize their own unique dreams, to connect to their strengths, their unique gifts, their dreams, and the vision that they have for themselves that is aligned with the values that they have, the things they care most deeply about. And then ultimately to offer some tools and tips to go forth and create that. And of course, that doesn't happen without meeting up against some of the roadblocks. And some of those roadblocks can be extremely challenging. And we often don't want to face them. We don't want to see where we might be stuck. We don't want to maybe notice that, we don't know how to dream anymore, or we don't know how to imagine as much as we would like to believe we can. Or maybe we don't realize the strengths that we have, or we realize the strengths and are terrified to actually express them and use them. So one of the things that makes Parzival so different and this amazing journey so unique is that we allow students to go on a deep dive, and we do so in such a way that no student is ever in a box. In other words, people can do different creative projects, they can express themselves in different ways, and while we do have a set curriculum, and we have an in-person orientation week and an in-person graduation week, and then we do have online in-between learning where students can come together and interact, the lessons are interpreted differently by each person, and they're set up to be something where we can have conversations, we can talk about the things that are challenging in the world today, in their own lives. Students receive personalized mentoring as well as group mentoring, and there's an opportunity to have a safe space for the conversations that can't happen elsewhere, that don't seem to happen elsewhere. It's also a place where we can ask students the kinds of questions they don't get asked elsewhere. And a big piece of this is learning to live in the question, to ask the right questions, to allow the questions to be with the unknown, to be okay with the fact that as a young adult, very few of us ever would know exactly what we want to be doing, where we want to be going, who we really want to be, or even who we are. That it's the nature of the journey that makes it so special. So what we're doing is we're not giving people something to do for 9 months or 8 months or whatever the program length. We're giving people tools and gifts that will last a lifetime. And these tools and gifts will support students on their journey, support the young adults to move into whether it's schooling or career, or simply complement those things. Having the capacity to look to these tools when relationships get challenging, or when we're indecisive or struggling with self-confidence or not sure of who we are and feeling anxious about life. Let's face it, life is full of incredible levels of uncertainty, and our young people are particularly wondering, what's next? What's next for me? How do I fit into all of this? How can I make a difference? Who am I to have different ideas and thoughts? Well, we're here to allow students to believe in themselves, to know that they're different, unique ideas matter. In fact, we tend to attract the weirdos. We attract those who really think differently and are challenging the status quo and who want to ask the questions. And I say weirdos very lovingly, knowing that it actually comes from this idea that these are the folks who are here to change the world. Even traditionally, the origin of the word weird, we consider our program weird compared to most, because we are here to challenge the world and move it forward, challenge young adults to be themselves and to do things differently, to ask the difficult questions. So we want those who are feeling like misfits, having new ideas, longing for some place else to express themselves and find ways to bring their gifts to the forefront and feel confident in doing so.